Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo. Then we can be assured that other nations will not treat America with respect, the respect that we deserve.
What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with a new video. And if you may notice, I am posting this video on Rumble first today. I know, that's a shocker, but I wanted to try some of the Rumble, sync settings with the YouTube. So for the next couple of episodes, you'll see that Rumble make it the first episode of the day. Well, they're going to be on both channels, but we're going to test a little bit of Rumble first, then YouTube second. We're just going to see how it works, kind of promoting the Rumble channel. By the way, go subscribe to it. That would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, so Rumble first today, YouTube second. I'm going to do this like once a week probably. And also some exclusive content to Rumble is coming. Just subscribe to it. You'll see my opinions on certain things that I'm not allowed to say on YouTube. So yeah, before I forget though, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit that little bell, like the button, whatever. Share with your friends. But I do recommend you share with your friends. We're trying to hit 9,000 subscribers before the end of March. I think we could do that. That'll be greatly appreciated. And yeah. So today we must talk about what happened last night. All I can say is this. That was a fun stream. I'm glad everybody showed up. We had a lot of viewers. I think our peak was 250. For a primary this early, the fact we had that many people watch. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for watching all the technical difficulties we had. It was a fun stream. And the replay is up on YouTube, obviously. Go watch it. I may create some highlights. So yeah. I hope you did enjoy, though. But we have to talk about what happened last night, because there were some obvious victories for some candidates, and there were some complete stunners last night. And all I could say is this. Greg Abbott is going to be the next governor of Texas. I mean, that's not even a hot take. That's what's going to happen. Like, here's the thing, though. Abbott was garbage for the past 8 years. He's been the governor of Texas. But the last 2 years in particular, he was forced to become more conservative on the issues. And he won because of it. I think he finally realized, okay, I can't just be, a wimpy, cringe, GOP, shill. I gotta actually use my power and help the party. And he did. He actually used his power for good. And he won because of it. So I hope that does teach him a lesson that, hey, don't piss off the Republican base or they will come after you. Now, he still got 66.6% of the vote. That's a weird number. And the GOP as a whole in Texas had a phenomenal night for turnout, total reported votes, all of that. I mean, look at this. Republicans had 1.8 million votes. What do Democrats have? 1 million. They're going to probably get 1.1 million at best. I mean, this was a bad night for Democrats. Let's get that out of the way right off the bat. This was an awful night for Democrats. And you'll see up here in a little bit, I'll show you what I mean, because it was bad. So, Greg Abbott won. Allen West is probably going to be second. Don Huffines third. Chad Prather, someone got 4% of the vote. Rick Perry got 3%. The other clowns got, under 1%. So, with all that being said, there's really no upsets that happen at the governorship level. There's, Abbott won and Beto won. But all I could say is that Abbott's going to absolutely wipe out Beto. You'll see in a little bit, because this is not a good sign for Democrats. They could barely muster 1 million votes. Really? So, yeah, the governorship, nothing major happened. Just, the basic stuff. And there's still some votes left to be counted in Harris County, Tarrant County, but it's not going to change anything. Now, there's some other races, though, that shocked me a little bit. The Attorney General race. I thought Paxton was going to be over 50%. I thought he was going to avoid a runoff. Instead, he's going to have a runoff against Bush. Not the bad one. This is actually a good George Bush, not the crappy one. And this Bush is actually good on the issues. He's actually a Trumpian. I know it's weird, a Bush as a pro-Trump Republican, but it's true. And you notice where the strengths of Bush was. It was definitely the Rio Grande Valley area. As for Guzman, it was kind of all over the state. He pretty much got 17% statewide. So there's really no major win for him there. As for Gomart, I am so sad about this. Why did you run? Like, why? I'm glad you did run. He probably did siphon off some votes from Paxton, especially in this part of the state. But still, it's like, you could have just not. You could have just ran for Congress. It's sad. Gomart, I'm personally a fan of Gomart. I think he's pretty solid on the issues. I think this was a waste of time that he did this. So yeah, Gomart lost, Guzman lost. It's been between Bush and Paxton. And again, it's going to be very interesting. That runoff is going to be very tight. So hopefully Gomart and Guzman endorses Bush. You do some basic math, Paxton loses. Paxton sucks. He's overrated. And you get these people on the right saying, well, Paxton sues Biden administration all the time. He did jack shit for years. It's only now that he did stuff. It was because he was up for election. I mean, this guy's a fraud. He sucks. So, yeah, Paxton, he did win. He go to runoff, I should say. But I do think, though, if the Bushes, the Guzmans, and the Gomarts fully collude together and, form a coalition, they could beat this guy. I hope they do. I hope Bush becomes the next attorney general. But yeah, the fact that Paxton had Trump's endorsement and he barely got 43%, maybe, that's not a good sign for him. As for the Democrats, this doesn't matter, but it's a dumpster fire. It's a free-for-all. I honestly don't know who's going to be the second attorney general candidate, but it is going to run off, that's for a fact. So yeah, as you can tell for the Democrat side, not a good night. There's a lot of stunners that happened tonight. The lieutenant governor's race, again, dumpster fire here. The Republicans, Dan Patrick won, that's obvious. Now, we get to the one part of the races that was a complete and total shocker to me. Henry Kohler's probably done. He's going to a runoff. And for a while, he was getting crushed. I mean, at times he was down by 50 points. He did claw his way back, though. But that runoff is going to be down to the frickin' wire. You're going to see a lot of Democrats campaign here. This is a very important primary for the Republicans. If Kohler loses, all right, this is an automatic flip no matter what you do. I mean, that may sound crazy for like a D+8 district, but the fact that Kohler, all right, does maybe, a point better than nationwide Democrats in this district, and he's more conservative than them, what's going to happen when you put a progressive Bernie bro extremist in this district? They're going to get crushed. And it looks like they're going to be facing whoever. It's kind of a dumpster fire who's going to be the candidate. But it looks like Garcia has the most votes. As for District 15, again, it's going to be a runoff, but this is a disaster for Democrats. They have a lot of these runoffs, especially in more competitive seats. And not like the Republicans where they have, sure, maybe one in a competitive seat. But they got ones in, District 3. That's going Republican no matter what. District 35, who cares? For Democrats, these are some districts that may matter, that they have to fight each other to the death over. And look at all these districts that Democrats did not run a single candidate in. I mean, they have nobody. And that's a benefit to the Republicans. I mean, for years, Democrats would run candidates everywhere. Not because they can win, but siphon off some resources from other districts. As Republicans, well, they filled every seat. They have a candidate everywhere. And they're going to win all these seats without spending a dime. As for Democrats, well, these are districts that, Republicans could have spent some money in. They could have saved, a little bit of time and money now. I mean, that's not a good sign for Democrats. The fact that this many districts that are going Republican either way, by the way. The fact they're going that many, that's not a good sign for the enthusiasm for the Democrats in 2022. As for other races, that's pretty much it. For the Republicans, the big one was District 3. Van Taylor's going to a runoff. I think he's done. The big scandal that hit him right before the election day, that killed him. The fact they're going to runoff, all the people know what he did. He's done. He is 100% done with the ISIS bride stuff. It's disgusting what this clown did. Glad he's done. If it came out earlier, South probably would have won without a runoff. That's just a fact. It sucks that, this is going to a runoff, but if this would have came out a month ago, Taylor would have got crushed. He would have got 10% of the vote. So yeah, Taylor is done. He's going to a runoff. The only other major one is District 28. But with the Democrats having a fight to the death for this district, I don't think this really matters. If Kohler wins, I think Republicans lose the seat. If Kohler loses, I think Republicans crush Jessica. So that's that. Now, we have to look at a little bit of the past, because this primary did show us some very interesting statistics and very interesting data points. So, let's go back to the interesting graphic I had last night. This one right here. And I added 2022 because the results would be basically the same. And again, this is how the Texas primary has voted every year since 2010. 2014, 2018, 2022. And you notice a trend here. Republicans have gotten over 60% in every single election. And in 2022, Republicans got around 65%. That's essentially between 2018 and 2014. 2010 I won't really count, that was a weird election. But point is, the fact they got in between 2018 and 2014 indicates that 2022, this is a race that Republicans shouldn't spend a dime in. Because, let's just go to the general results. I mean, you look at this. Abbott got around 59% in 2014 and 55.8% in 2018. You average it to, like we did for the primaries, he gets around 57, 58% of the vote. Well, for sure he wins by like 15 points. So this idea that Beto's gonna win, there's no energy factor for him. He's a flip-flopper. He hates guns in Texas. He's not gonna win. And the fact that Republicans had this big of a primary advantage, I mean, I know it's Texas, but still, the fact that you do some basic math, you look at basic trends, Republicans are going to be, a 15, 16, 17 points floor in Texas. So much for the Blexit stuff. I mean, all these people are saying that, oh, the primaries will indicate that it's Blexit. It's over for the Republicans. Well, I made one more map. Before we end today's video, I have to show everybody one thing. Again, this will be the description down below. This is back. I made this again. Everybody remembers my early voting map that did not get updated because literally early voting ended like February 25th. And look at the swings from 2018 to 2022 in the primary votes. Look at the Rio Grande Valley. All of it trended Republican, or swung Republican. El Paso, 25 points. Star, 47 points. Willacy, almost 35 points. And go to the Dallas area. I mean, Tarrant County, 8.5%. Dallas, 4%. Collin, 5%. Denton, 12.69%. Nice number. And look at Harris. This was the county of the night. Republicans won it by 7 points. They lost by 3 in 2018. I mean, you keep looking at this data points. This is 2022's result. You look at 2018, look at all that blue. It all turned red. So this idea that Blexit is happening, that's not going to be a red wave here, that's bullshit. That is complete and total bullshit. And what does this really mean? That, well, the Rio Grande Valley trends, they're not a fluke. They're not going away. Democrats should be stunned that the Republicans bounce back this quickly in a lot of these suburban districts or counties. And again, primaries don't exactly correlate with general elections. But if we look at how Texas does primaries in the past, it does have some correlation. I mean, you look at 2018's result, pretty much identical to the governorship. Yeah, there's obviously, Ford County, but nobody voted in the GOP primary there. And yeah, some things like Harris County was off by a little bit, but you get the point that there is some kind of a clear correlation. And the fact you're getting a lot of these southern counties swinging like 30 points Republican, that's indicating 2020 was not a fluke. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next video. Godspeed to all of you.